let's talk about Lectric, a brand, if you watch this channel, you'll know I'm a fan of. This is the XP 3.0, the best of the XPs, features, performance, and a good price. I've had this one loaned out, and it's showing some signs of wear, and I'm noticing that somebody's been rear brake riding. At least I think so. I need to check back there and look at the pads and see. Could just need an adjustment. But there is something else with this bike. If you know the XP, you know they have to have a key to be turned on. This is the on position. But if I go up here, here's the display. If I press and hold on this, well, nothing's happening. I've tried putting it into gear, mimicking turning on just in case the display went out, and nothing happens with this bike. So it, at least as it sits right here, is effectively non-functional for me. So I asked Lectric, what could this be? And they decided to send me some parts. They suspected a couple of things, but mainly this, which is tied in with this. Also, we talked about speed controllers, which is back here. The reason I'm making this video, whether it be speed controller or this display, this switch module, e-bikes especially, very important to make sure that the company you're buying them from will stand behind them and that there are parts available. Because when it comes to bikes, handlebars, shifters, brakes, all that stuff, tires, pretty universal. You can get this stuff just about anywhere. But when it comes to e-bikes, things get more proprietary, like this electric motor, the systems that they use to power and control everything, and as I've mentioned, the speed controller, and more importantly, the batteries. Batteries only last so long, a few years, certain number of cycles. You want to make sure you can get replacement batteries, especially if you're buying an e-bike that's not super budget, even though Lectric, for their performance, gives one of the best bangs per buck performance per dollar, at least in my opinion. So with all this Lectric branded stuff, even their crank arms, Lectric branded, how about parts? I did just say they're super important on an e-bike, and not only does Lectric have parts available, they are retail packaged. A quick switch to inside the bike barn with all this junk, including that exhaust from a project that's, well, that's probably another video. Today though, hopefully less frustration thanks to these replacement parts from Lectric. Part numbers, the baggie and all, it's even sealed right there. Isn't that cool? Let's find out if it works. First, I'm gonna need to remove what's on here, which is a little easier than at first it may seem, because this and this, these two units are connected with wires. They have quick connectors. Just some looms to pull off here. I'll time lapse this. We'll get the new one installed and see if that fixes the problem. Because again, nothing is happening when I press this. And I've held it. It should be on by now. If I go up, say to pedal assist 3, the throttle should work. It does not. Put this off the ground. The motor should have engaged. It did not. And oh, let's check that brake. Still works though. Just might be out of adjustment. Work on that too, but for now, this display. Well, I said I was gonna time lapse this, but I thought I probably should show what I'm disconnecting here. So this display has two wires coming out of the back of it, one of which goes to the D-pad here, or the control pad. I call it the D-pad because of gaming. The other to this connector. You can see it is green to green, and there are arrows. You can see that one arrow, and on this side there will be, there it is, an arrow. You just line up the arrows and plug them together. So I have these unplugged. No need to unplug this because it's made into the back. So now I need to get an Allen wrench, and there are two Allen screws here, Allen bolts here, and that'll loosen to take this off. And the same thing with this control pad right there, just a hex wrench, and I can remove these two and everything will come off. Tool of choice for this task is going to be just one of these little multi-tools I received as a Christmas present. My sister usually gets me one every Christmas, and this one has quite a few things in it. Pretty cool. I'll see if I can find the link for it and put it down in the description. But this will get it done. And I need to completely remove both of those screws. I don't care if they drop to the ground because I'm going to be replacing this unit Tell you the one downside to every multi-tool I've ever used, including expensive ones, they get floppy. They're either too tight at seams or they're too floppy, and they'll eventually completely work themselves loose. And ironically, you'll need one of these to tighten those, but they're made into the thing, so then you have to get another tool. Pretty funny. But I have this separated. Just gonna pull those apart. That'll get this off. Now I need to remove this, different size. All right, I have that loose. Here's the entire unit removed. Just like I said, two pieces connected with the wire. And if we look on the back, there'll be the model number. This is gonna be the fun part. Unpackaging. Again, this is sealed. I mean, look at that. How nice that they have sealed, bagged, packaged parts. Gonna pull these here. Okay, one drop later, I can get into this and open it up, and we should, what all do we have in here? Okay, there is this, asking if we have questions, and let's see, there's French, couple of QR codes, multiple languages, won't need that, I'm gonna wing it, and, oh, even a screw packet, and the new unit. Comparing it to the old one, the same size. Let's look at the D-pad. Identical. This is exactly what it should be. Let's look at the part numbers on the back. Now, those are different. You should look at this. Can you see? Slightly different. So let's put this new one on, and fingers crossed. You know, before I screw all of these in, I'm going to go ahead and connect these two together, arrow to arrow, and I'm going to see if I can boot this up. Let's find out. Oh, it's go time. Fingers crossed, and thank goodness this has a peel off on the display, because first thing I did was dropped it and there was a little scratch, but luckily that's on the film. So let me back up here. Camera and, oh yes, how about that? Good job, Lectric, with your troubleshooting. I was leaning towards the speed controller, but you knew that this was likely it, and it was. We are fixed, but now the only downside, 0, now effectively new. You know, good thing with e-bikes, at least in Alabama, there's not odometer disclosures, because then I wouldn't know. It's been loaned out so long, I have no idea how many miles were on this old display. But now we know it's 0 on the new one. So there we go, Lectric, a new display, replacement parts, factory sealed. That's nice. It's nice to know they stand behind their products enough that they package in retail packaging their products for this Lectric XP 3.0, and I'm sure all of their bikes. Thanks so much, Lectric. What do you think about this experience? Comment below, and a link to this bike down in the description. They're pretty awesome, fun to ride. These are speedy little bikes, 28 miles per hour, lots of torque, lots of fun. Thanks for watching. Parts. It even has a functional rear brake now. Job well done.